Hello everyone, Shopify here. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to turn a mouse input into a analog input. And here I'm using it to fly this plane around. And it's not necessarily for just the plane. I'm just using this as an example. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so here we are on the plane scene. So we're gonna use a canvas layer on this scene. Create a new canvas layer. You want just one control node. That's gonna be the main node that we're gonna use. Attach a script to that. Call it analog input. Right? Then first we're gonna need a radius, and then we're gonna need to add a dead zone. It's gonna be the area where percentage where the mouse doesn't send any signals. If it's within this dead zone, so it's the percentage, the radius. And we're gonna need a copy of the mouse's position, and we're gonna use a signal to send out that analog input. So if anything else is connected to it, it work and it wouldn't cause a crash or anything because it's decoupled. So on the ready function, we're gonna first confine the input and have it hidden. Input the mouse mode. We're gonna have confine hidden. This allows the mouse to stay within the game's window, but it's invisible. And then we're gonna warp the mouse. So we're gonna use input.warp mouse and set it to this control's position. So that's gonna be 0. So make sure we go to input. We're gonna set this to be in the center of the screen. That. Make it save. Here. Now in the process function, we want to do a few stuff. First, we're gonna check for input for the action just pressed, and that's gonna be the UI cancel. If it's pressed, you want to set the mouse mode to be visible. And then if the mouse is visible, we want to return, because we're gonna use the warp mouse below here, so we could like exit the window, because the warp mouse actually overrides the mouse every time you try to go past whatever we are warping it. So let's continue. First, we're gonna get the local mouse position relative to this control, and it would be 0 in the center. It's right on top of the control node's position. Like it's right here, it would be 0 instead of there. It would be globally. That would be 0 up top. Then we check if the length of the mouse is greater than the radius. We need to set this mouse position here. We're setting it to be local mouse, as long as it's within the radius. Else, if it's equal to the radius or greater, we want to set the mouse position to be normalized and then to be equal to the radius. So it will only move in a circle around. It won't go further away. Then now we warp the mouse, so its position times this original mouse position. So this gives us the global position. Now to get the analog input, all we have to do now is say var analog. Analog equals vector2 mouse position .x divided by radius, and then suppose that y by radius. We want that to be the negative, because y and Godot in 2D negative, so we want it to be inverted to positive. So whenever we're pulling it up like this, it's positive, down is negative. Now to check the dead zone, so we say if analog is greater than the dead zone, that's when we want to send that signal up. So we say input, what do I call it? Analog input dot emit analog. Alright, that should work. So let's go over to the plane here. On this guy, grab its analog input signal here. Double click on it. We want to attach that to the plane. We'll go down here, and I have a, where is it? Turn input. So turn input Western input equal to that analog input. This is not tutorial on planes, so in the comments let me know if you guys want to do a tutorial on this. But let's go up to plane now. We'll fly around. There you go. Just like that, we're flying again. So we're getting the mouse input now, so I'm pulling down on it to go up, pushing up on it to go. Then left and right, and we could visualize it. Let's get rid of this. Go back into that mouse input. Right here, I want to add a draw function. I want to draw an arc. This is gonna be the radius of the area that you can rotate the mouse in. And we're drawing a circle. That would be the dead zone. Times it by 100 because remember it's a percentage. And then I'm drawing the circle of the mouse position, where the mouse currently is. And then we could just say query draw here. Save and hit play. There you go. So if I'm within this area here, the plane won't move because that's within the 10%. I'm moving it around a little bit. And if I go left and right now, pushing up on it to go down, pushing down to go up, and the mouse keep getting redrawn by the way. As in the warp, it's warping. Could show you guys that, but let me try and show you. So instead of returning here, just let it keep going. It's gonna make me weird stuff, but yep, there it goes. Now I have to Control K to kill the screen. Load up this one. There you go. So now I could see where the mouse is. Then if I try to go out, pulling it back in. So the reason why we have a secondary input for the mouse position, so we don't have to worry about that happening. We're only using the input from the white area. Yep. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care guys.